Hello everyone. Our today's topic is shape or slopes of AR and MR curves under perfect competition, and firm is a price taker, not a price maker. So let's get started. Why AR is equal to MR curves under perfect competition, or why demand curve of a firm under perfect competition is perfectly elastic. So let's study this concept with the help of a table. As you can see in this table, there are 5 columns. The first one is quantity, second is price, that is given per unit wise, total revenue, marginal revenue and average revenue. Under quantity column, different quantities are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the second column, prices are given, that is per unit wise. Okay, so price is same because under perfect competition, when sellers sell the homogeneous product at a same price fixed by the industry, so there will be no change in the price of the commodity whether the seller is selling one quantity, two quantities or 5 quantities. The price of that commodity per unit price will remain the same. Now total revenue. Total revenue is the total revenue earned by the firm. The formula for total revenue is price into quantity. So price into quantity, you will get the total revenue. Here in the first row, when the seller is selling 1 unit of a commodity at this time, the total revenue is 10. When he is selling 2 commodities at the price of rupees 10, then the total revenue generated by the firm is 20. So likewise 30, 40 and 50. Next column is marginal revenue. Marginal revenue means the additional revenue earned by the firm. Additional revenue earned only when the seller is selling the additional unit of a commodity, and the formula for that is TRN minus 1. Okay, so in as you can see in this column, marginal revenue column, the marginal revenue for each commodity is same. There is no change. The reason behind this is that whether the seller is selling 1 quantity, 2 quantities or 3 quantities, the price of that commodity is not changing. It is constant. Because of the uniform price, the marginal revenue for each commodity is also same. The last column is average revenue. Average revenue, the formula for average revenue is total revenue divided by quantity. So as you can see in this column also, the average revenue for each quantity is also same. The reason again the same thing, because of the price of the commodity. Price of the commodity is same. That is why that MR is equal to AR curve, or we can say MR is equal to AR is equal to the price of commodity. Okay, I hope this is clear to you, and let's understand this table with the help of a diagram also. Next, on OX axis, in this diagram, as you can see, OX axis output is shown, and on Y axis price is there. Okay, so under perfect competition, price is constant, price remains uniform. So OP is the price determined by the industry, that in the previous slide we have seen, that is rupees 10. So at this price, we can say that the firm can sell any amount of the commodity. So price remains constant no matter whether the quantity is OA or OB or even 0. So here AR and MR curves are perfectly elastic, and these curves are parallel to x-axis. The price is uniform as it is fixed by the industry. Next is a firm under perfect competition is a price taker and not a price maker, or a firm is a price taker, not a price maker. Comment. It is very important from the examination point of view that why the firm is a price taker, not a price maker. There are certain reasons behind it. The first one is homogeneous product. Homogeneous product means the same product. Okay. Next is number of firms. Third is loss if lower price is fixed by the firm. Fourth one is perfect knowledge. All these points we have already discussed under the head of features of perfect competition. Let's understand this concept that whether that the firm is a price taker, not a price maker, with the help of a picture also. In this picture, you can see in the perfectly competitive market, a single market price determined by the forces of total demand and total supply. Here total demand represents the market demand. Okay, total market demand, and total supply represents the total market supply. Here we are not talking about the individual demand and individual supply. We are talking about the total market demand and total market supply. So under the perfect competition, every seller or a buyer is a price taker, not a price maker. So as you can see in this picture, there are two people. One is a seller, the other one is a buyer. The seller represents the total market supply, okay, and the buyer represents the total market demand. Now this seller is selling these cookies at a price of rupees 50. Buyer said that I cannot buy at this price. He refused to buy at a price of rupees 50. He said, if you want to sell it, please reduce the price of the cookies. So seller agrees on this and he reduced the price from 50 to 40, and buyer also agrees on this. So this is the price decided by both of them, both buyer and seller, because both are representing the total market demand and total market supply of the commodity. Okay, now let's understand this picture with the help of a diagram also. As you can see, there are two graphs in this slide. One is the industry, the other one is a firm. So on OX axis quantity is represented, and on Y axis price is there. MD represents the market demand and MS represents the market supply of the commodity. Okay, now in the previous slide we have seen the seller who was earlier said that he will supply the cookies at a price of rupees 50. So if I plot this 50 rupees here, at this price seller was ready to supply the supply of cookies this much at a price of rupees 50. He was ready to supply this much quantity of the cookies, but at this price the demand was less. So here we can say that supply is greater than demand. Because of excess supply, nobody was buying at this price. Okay, now when buyer refuses to buy at a price of rupees 50, he told him to reduce the price. The seller reduces the price from 50 to 40 and buyer also agrees on it. Now when the seller reduces the price from 50 to 40, now according to the law of supply, when price reduces, supply also reduces. Okay, and according to law of demand, when price reduces, demand increases. Okay, so the point where demand and supply meets, okay, that point is known as equilibrium point. Okay, that at this point industry decides the price of the commodity, and at this point both the market demand and market supply meets, and at this point the producer will supply the goods at a price of rupees 40, and this much quantity he will supply. So at, if I want to give it name, then at OP price the seller will provide OQ quantity of commodity, and this is the same price is followed by the different firms of the industry. So that is the reason that AR is equal to MR, and AR or MR curves are parallel to x-axis and they are perfectly elastic, and that is the reason that industry is a price maker, not a price maker. Firm is a price taker, not a price maker. Only the market forces of the industry, that is total market supply and market demand, they decide the price of the industry.